How would that work? Because that's just an installation. Yeah, we'll mess with it another time. Yeah, same here. Running out of time. But anyway, yeah, anyway, we'll get together on Friday, and like I said, I'll give you the accounts, and I only have, I think, 6 games. You can check them out while I'm away. You know, I'll be off my computer until next Thursday or Friday, so.
Yeah, I may take you up on it. If anything, there's one game I definitely want to get that I really want to try, and that's Ace Combat. It's a new one that came out. I really want to check it out.
Is that a simulation game?
Yeah, it's a flying. It's based like it first started off on PlayStation only, but it's come far now. They allowed it on PC,
Yeah.
which as of right now, I mean it's like I said, it just came out like what, a month ago, and the reviews on it, of course, they're saying there's a couple little bugs and stuff, but for the most part, it's still very playable and fun. And then you got people that have never played, any kind of flying simulation before. But I played basically every Ace Combat since beginning to now. So I'm curious to see. I've never played it on PC though, so I'm just kind of curious. I remember when Hawks came out, but see, then they had I forgot what happened. Something happened, and they took it was some kind of, not copyright, but for some reason they ended their market or something, so the games were no longer playable. It sucked. But that was the last flying simulation combat game that they actually had that was worth a damn. And then now finally they have one that came out that I'm curious to check out.
X. There's some guys. There's some guys that are just kind of standing around in a safe house, probably going through their inventories. X went up to him, walked straight up to him, did a slow clap in his face. I'm sitting there doing a line dance. I really get a kick out of this, man. This is kind of funny.
So when y'all are playing too, are y'all playing like with other people online or?
Well, yeah, like I said, there's other people. Yeah, it makes you smile with all the antics and stuff. There's a group of people in there in a safe house right now, and they're gonna go off and do their mission while you're off doing your mission. The chances of them keeping up with you are probably pretty. Yeah, safe house is a lobby for everybody, but y'all part.
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm asking is even though you and X are playing online, like I'm saying, there's other people under the same map that are playing too, but just doing different shit, right?
Hold on. I haven't necessarily seen anybody else fighting. Have you?
So, and I guess what I'm asking then is everything else that's happening bots related, or?
I'm sorry.
So I'm just trying to understand like how the gameplay works as far as like when you and X are playing, like whatever map you're on or whatever mission y'all are doing, like are y'all playing versus like multiplayer versus like or what?
We're playing against bots for the most.
Okay.
But what's kind of neat, what I find is the bots. They're actually pretty smart. They'll take cover.
Yeah.
And you know they'll take cover and they'll try and flank you. You know what I'm saying? And like the other day, X and I were going after Elite, and he said we need a plan here, and we didn't really improvise a plan or implement a plan, but I took it upon myself to flank the Elite guy, which is like the toughest to take. It took everything the both of us had to take him down, and you know, it's kind of realistic in a sense. Where the way the graphics and everything move, the way the environment moves, I feel is a little bit more realistic than Battlefield. Yeah. Rainy day is definitely a rainy day. But to kill your enemy, remember when I said there's no headshot? You're not gonna take somebody out with a single headshot. You have to put a little bit more effort into it. It's more realistic in the sense where you could survive. Hold up. Real world, you could survive a few rounds before you. I'm sure, depending on the weapon. You can revive yourself, which is kind of cool, but you have to take cover in order to do so. Some of the weapons are a little bit futuristic, but for the most part, you're using all the same weapons that you have in Battlefield 4. And the upgrades kind of work the same way, but you actually have to, instead of earning your upgrades like you do in Battlefield 4, you have to actually go in and build your upgrades. Like you get blueprints, you get a blueprint for an upgrade, then you have to have enough resources to actually make the upgrade, like steel and carbon fiber and shit like that, to actually build the upgrade. So it's kind of neat.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
We recruited,
Agent down.
oh, hold on.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
When you're, one thing that's kind of neat, that like when you're running, because you do a lot of moving around, you can almost freehand it. So you still have your forward, back, side to side. What is it? The WASD keys?
Yeah.
But you can hit X and that will move you, and then you hit control and you'll sprint, and then you can just control yourself with your mouse, so it kind of give your hand a rest.
This one's mine.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
I lost you, X. Where?
They're moving around me. I got them.
I need 1 minute before I can use this skill. And that was my last revive. I wish I had more time capsule, because I'd actually bring my computer or my hard drive and show you the game.
I've watched quite a bit of YouTube videos on it, but there's a lot of them that are long. I haven't really. I've had the time. I've just been busy doing other stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely time consuming and sort of addictive.
Supply room access unlocked.
Gotta keep the settlement safe.
Let's move out.
Another M700. I got another M700.
You gonna be on tomorrow, Dre?
That I'm not sure. That I'm not sure, because I've got to go get I gotta go run through the car wash. Last time I went through the car wash, they I don't know if it's a tire shine or whatever, it got all over the body of my.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I gotta get that off my car before the fucking sun bakes it into the paint. And I've got 1 or 2 loads of laundry to do. I got almost all my chores done. In fact, I gotta go make sure all the dishes get in the dishwasher and run that before I go to bed tonight.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I was just gonna say, you got my number. If I don't talk to you, I don't know, Friday, I mean, whatever works for you. If you want to call, text me, just let me know you're on your way.
Yeah, well, I'll check in here. If I see you on, I'll check in here. If not, I'll just give you a shout, and then I'll let you know if I'm gonna be working on Friday. If I'm not working on Friday, my daughter still wants to go to school,
Well, yeah.
and she doesn't want me to pick her up till 12, but I think she's gonna get a surprise at 11. She's saying she has some sort of presentation or something that she wants to do, but man, I gotta get on the road. I got shit to do.
Yeah. No worries, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I could easily leave on Saturday, but the thing of it is the later I leave, the less time that she gets to spend with my mom and her friends.
Right, right.
So if I get a jump on it, I'm leaving early for her. This is benefiting her, not me. I can't do anything until Monday morning, and to be quite honest with you, by the time I'm done Monday, I could turn around and come back, but you know, I want to spend Tuesday with a buddy of mine I haven't seen, you know, since I left. So,
Right.
I'll spend a little time with him down his shop. I gotta go Monday. I gotta go to the DMV, get my license renewed, do the vision test, get my license renewed, and then I gotta go to the vehicle inspection and get my vehicle inspected. Yeah, actually I do. I think. Yeah. All right, one sec. Then once I get my vehicle inspected, I want to go over to my buddy's shop and. Nice, thank you. I'm gonna be cutting the mufflers off my car as soon as I get the vehicle inspected. I bought a muffler delete for my car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I put a cold air intake, a muffler delete, and then I went down and I talked to
But it's a chemical agent
Talk-
that was intended to stop the spread of green poison.
once I got a guy wanting some needs some shit. If he stops running away from me.
Gotta reload.
Um,
And fight.
I went and talked to a guy at a speed shop, and to see about getting putting the car in a dyno and getting.
Yeah.
And I should be able to gain about 25 to 30 horsepower. Doesn't seem like a big gain, but
Standing.
I'm already at 320 horse, so if I can get it to 350, I'd be happy.
Heck yeah. So once you get it inspected and all that, I mean, we have to eventually go back up, or
Well, here's the thing. I gotta, actually, I'm gonna go FK just for,
Big fan of you division folk.
once I get, see, it's a pain in the ass.
yeah,
May, June. So in June, I'm gonna file for an appeal on my hours restriction for my driver's license.
right.
I mail that from here, $50, just a little bit of personal information, and then it takes about 6 to 8 weeks, and they'll give me a date.
Thank you, Agent.
When I get that
I'm glad
date,
you're on our side.
it's
Thank you,
within
Agent.
2
I'm
weeks
glad you're on
that
our
I
side.
have to appear. So so what I'll do at that point is it's gonna cost me a lot of money because I'm gonna end up getting like a jump flight into Boston.
Yeah.
I won't drive. I'll just a quick flight.
Yeah.
And then I'll fly up just for the day. I'll go up, go to the hearing, and then get on a plane and come back home that same day. I'll do it all in the same day because I'll only lose a day's pay.
Right, right.
And then what'll happen is I'll get what do they call it, like the disposition, like their decision, approximately 10 to 14 business days after the appeal. I'll get a date. I'll get the decision. If they rule in my favor, Actually, if they don't rule in my favor and they're not going to do any changes, then okay. When if they don't decide to make any changes, then I'm stuck for the next 2 years. That's it. I got to ride it out. If they rule in my favor to make any type of change, then I have to appear not at the hearing, because the hearing happens at a courthouse. It's but it's not judicial. It's through the division of insurance. So I'm up against the registry and the insurance company. The main the division of insurance oversees all insurance companies. So it's basically, are you at risk? So in my case, I'm not. And they'll see that because I haven't done anything wrong in 11 years. So
Right.
So what'll happen is if they rule in my favor, then I have to appear. Then I go to the DMV with a letter stating that whatever decision the decision is, and I take that to a hearings officer at the DMV, and that can only be done in my town on
Agent.
Tuesdays
Are
and
you ready to start
Thursdays.
exploring the dark zones?
So chances are, what I'll probably end up doing is having to take a week off of work. Because if you show up at the DMV, you know how here you want to be there if the DMV opens.
Oh yeah.
If it opens at 7:30, you want to be there at like 6:30.
Yeah, exactly. The fucking line, man.
Yeah, and what ends up happening is, if with the hearings officer, it's not by appointment. It's basically case by case. So you can be the first one. You can be the first one there, but the last one called. And if you're not called that day, see you on Thursday.
Yep, I was about to say. Yeah, that's how they do it here too.
Yeah. So, and all they do is you sit down for 2 minutes. They look at it. They enter it. They add into the information. And they say, "Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. You have a great day." It's like,
Right.
what the fuck? You know what I mean?
I know. It's stupid, man.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
So. I mean, I gotta jump through the loops. I put myself in the situation. I gotta jump myself out. So this, by talking with my lawyer, I don't need a lawyer for the appeal. If I had a lawyer, I wouldn't feel like I got put into a corner like I did when I appealed once on my own to have my hours extended from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Okay. And what ended up happening is I was in a tiny little room, not much bigger than my bedroom. And again, you got a rep from the board consists of a person from the Division of Insurance, what is it, like the representative for the Board of Appeals, and then the Registry of Motor Vehicles. Those are the three. It's a majority vote. All right. Now, it's me being the defendant up against the plaintiff being the Registry of Motor Vehicles. And the Registry of Motor Vehicles doesn't want to give me my license back, but the Division of Insurance can say, give him his license back. Now, he's not at risk. You give him his license back. So, talking with my lawyer, because I was going to do this when I first moved down here. I'm like, hey, listen, man, I've got to make this happen. He says, I can't guarantee it's going to happen. Even if I appear with you, I can't guarantee anything. I says, well, what happens if I get within a 2-year window? He says, if you get within a 2-year window, you have probably a 75% chance of getting it back.
Okay.
So my chances went from 10% to 75% just by waiting these few months. You see?
Yeah. So, are you in that 2-year gap now?
The 2-year gap is going to be September. I can't remember the actual date. I want to say it was like September 9th is my arrest date.
So, of this year. So, September of 2019, it'll be your 2 years.
It will put me within a 2-year window of my suspension. So
Okay.
my suspension, I'd have to look at the paperwork, but if I'm not mistaken, it's 5 years plus 8 from September 9th, 2008. So it's 13 years from that time. So I'm looking at 2000 September 2021.
Yeah.
If I get within the 2-year window, he said there's a good chance that I'll get one or two things. One, the hour restriction removed, which will remove the block that they have on me from the National Driving Registry record or whatever it is, or keep the hour restriction and just remove the block. And he told me that by asking just to remove the block on the license so that I can move on, staying within the guidelines, they still have the timestamps on my Intellect device. They'll know if I'm stepping out of bounds. You know what I mean? If I'm
Yeah.
driving out of my curfew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, um, this by me going in and asking for them to lift the block, they'll know that I've discussed this with the lawyer, and my lawyer, of all fucking things, he's a state cop. He's a Massachusetts state policeman. He'll pull you over for DUI and hand you a business card because that's all he does as a lawyer is DUIs, DUI appeals. Really weird situation, but he was actually being investigated for doing personal cases on state time.
Yeah. I was about to say, yeah, shit sounds like something's in it for somebody.
He made a fucking ton. He made a ton of money over I think it was 3 years that he was being investigated. It was something stupid like $600,000 in 3 years or some shit.
Yeah.
$1,800 for my case, and he appeared. We were in that office we were in that hearing for all of about 20.
Yeah.
So he's making good money, but he's also he told me that he's not going to take a case unless he knows he can win it. And he's also in with the woman. He's already got 2 votes. He's in with the guy from the insurance company, and he's in with the woman from the Board of Appeals. So he's almost guaranteed the votes, but it has to be logistical. It has to be, everything has to work out. You know what I mean? It's
Right. Right.
keep getting into trouble after I got my license. They're not going to give me my license. After I got the DUI, if I kept getting in trouble, no,
Right,
that's
right.
not going to happen. But yeah, good enough guy. You know what I mean? I hired the right guy, and he's giving me honest opinion because when I emailed him back in November, I said, listen, man, what if I hire you to represent me for this appeal? And he says, that's not necessary, Dave. I can't give it word to word. I can't quote him, but it's not necessary. You do it on your own. You go in there. You tell them that you're requesting that you get an early return on your license because you haven't had any issues or anything. He looked at my record and everything.
Not sure how
So,
much you know about DC-62.
and nothing's come
Chemical
up in the
agent
last
that was
11
intended to
years.
stop the
So,
spread of green poison.
I don't
Good
know,
in
man.
theory,
It's worth a
but it's
shot.
highly
You know what I
toxic
mean?
and
I got nothing to
temperatures,
lose at
and ended
all,
up being just as
other
deadly
than
as
the
the
Right.
fact,
disease.
other
As
than the
research
fact that
data
I
on
won't be
DC-62 is about
complying
to
with
USDA
North
building, we
Carolina's
need to secure it.
state laws, which I'm not in compliance at this point now. Anyway, I was supposed to have my license within 60 days,
Yeah.
and I can't. You know what I'm saying? So what am I gonna do? Continue driving in Massachusetts, drive up and get my annual inspection every year, I won't ever have to renew my license again in Massachusetts because my renewal is good for 5 years and my suspension's up in 2. So I have to, in 2 years, no matter what, in 2 years I have to, if they don't rule in my favor, and I have to wait out the 2 years, I have to appear in 2 years to get that restriction taken off my license. At that time, the 2 years starts on my interlock device, which means I have to keep the interlock device in my car for 2 years after the suspension is up.
I got you.
The suspension isn't up until I appear after September 9th, 2021. If I don't appear, I'm still suspended. I don't pay nothing. I don't do anything. I just appear and see the hearings officer, quick 5 minutes, and back to North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's a major runaround, man.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
But you know something, in my defense, and I kind of got it worked out. And I hate to use my daughter, but you know, you look at the record, I've done nothing wrong. I can petition to everybody I know and verify that I am not using alcohol, and I am against the use of alcohol. I'm not necessarily against it. I'm against the abuse of alcohol.
No, I get what you're saying, man.
You have a few beers, man, I'm cool with that, man. I see you abusing it, I got to, but, you know, I could get people to petition I'm clean and sober, but with all that aside, it's gotten to the point now where it's affecting my daughter as much, if not more, than it's affecting me. Because you know what? I just assume be home at 9 o'clock at night. And I'll tell them that. I have no problem being home at 9 o'clock, in bed by 9:30. You know, I have no need to be out other than for my daughter. That's the only reason. Last night, she woke me up at 8:45. Dad, we need to get to the store. I need girl things. I looked at the clock. She woke me up for this, and I'm like, by the time I get in the car, I can't drive. You know, what happens if I get pulled over in North Carolina, suspended, or driving after hours? What's North Carolina going to do? They're going to lock me up until they can figure out who I am, where I came from, why I'm on a suspended license. I'm going to have to see the judge the next morning. You know what I'm saying? That's a headache I don't fucking need. And I certainly don't want any trouble with North Carolina at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm trying to do the right thing, man. And, you know, I'm doing it for my kid, man. And seriously, if it weren't for her, and I've said this 100 times, if it wasn't for my daughter, I'd be living down by a river somewhere in a tent, collecting cash, and not paying my debt to society. You know what I'm saying? I go right back to being a fucking straight up hippie. But it's not what I want anymore. I want to show my daughter that, you know, we need to contribute to society. We gotta work hard. We gotta do what's right for ourselves, not rely on other people to do it for us. That's most important to me, that I get that point across to my daughter, because that's what my mom did to me. You're gonna get up, you're gonna go to work. I'm not there. What she say? There's no free meals. You're gonna get up, you're gonna go to work, you're gonna pay your bills, you're gonna feed yourself. You find yourself in a bind, I'm going to do whatever I can to help you. So, you know, I'll never, ever close my door on my daughter like my family has to me. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no fucking way.
Well, right. That's kind of the conversation me and my wife had, because, you know, she wants to have kids, and I've been like, kind of going through that stage where I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like, I know we planned, you knew before, you know, when we met each other, what my goals were in life and all that shit. And then, you know, the way that the world's going now, it's kind of like, I told her respectfully. She knew where I was going with this, but I told her, like, I don't like the way the world's headed, and I don't want to bring another human being into this shit.
You know something? Castle, you want to know something? 30 years ago, 25 years ago, I said the same fucking thing. Same damn thing. Not.
It's over?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, like, I know, man. I mean, I was being realistic, but I could see it in her eyes. She was kind of like, well, if you don't, you know, if that's true of how you feel, like, well, I hate that you feel that way, but we're fucking having them. And I'm,
Yeah.
you know, but the thing is, man, it's not that I don't want them. I do. Like, you know, if God wants to give me a boy or a girl, man, that's, you know, I'll be happy. But the thing is, you know, I really feel like shit's just really getting fucking crazy. And I know back then too, like you were saying, there were times I know things happened to the economy, kind of went to shit. You know, it had its hiccups and stuff, but it's really, man, like, with the fucking views of everybody now, there's no respect for anybody anymore. I mean, like, people are expecting handouts with shit that you don't even work hard for anymore, or I'm offended because you called me the wrong fucking sex. Like, I'm sorry, are you a boy, you a girl? No, I'm fucking XYZ. I mean, shit like that. I mean, you know, that's just one of them, man, but I'm not gonna go. But anyway, yeah, dude, like that, getting to my point, like, I mean, I know eventually we're gonna have kids, you know.
Dude, having my daughter, you know, we planned on her, like I think I told you before, we did plan on her, and man, best thing that's ever happened to me,
Yeah.
to be quite honest.
Yeah, that's what they say, man, and, you know, I guess I won't know until I have it, but, you know.
Yeah. It's,
kind of selfish in my own way still. That's what I'm trying to break from. You know.
yeah, I get you. That all changes when you have a kid, man. You put put all that aside. I mean, there's still X, I'm down. There's still times where you gotta, you know, get your time in and do your thing for yourself.
Yeah. But no, man, like you nailed it on the head. Like, you know how, like you said, your mom would say stuff. Like, you know, that's parents did the same thing, you know. But there's a lot of things that I want to do different if I do have kids, you know. And my parents were very supportive. They still are in their own way, but at the same time, they know, you know, growing up, they, you know, and I do have a brother. So he's older. I have an older brother, so he was in the military. So, I mean, you know, we grew up right, but our views kind of went left and right. So, I don't know. I mean, I have a house. I have things. You know, I'm satisfied. You know, I still work hard. That'll never change.
Oh, you're doing the right thing. You know, you guys are taking care of yourselves first. I mean, I've kind of put the cart before the horse, and having a rent and pay all my money out and not have a home, you know.
Yeah. Well, and especially now, man, like, fuck, like, what we pay for our mortgage, you fucking pay for an apartment. I mean, shit.
Right. And you're gonna own it and probably make money off of it.
Right. So I mean, I don't know. We looked at each other and said, "Fuck it. Why not just get a house, you know, and go from there?" I mean, like, I never had an apartment. I don't know. I never knew what that lifestyle was like. Now, did I stay with buddies and stuff to have one and pay a couple times the rent, even though I didn't need to? Yeah, I've done that before.
Sure.
But you know, I mean, I'm not. I wasn't the actual, you know, the one renting it out, the main holder of it. But you know, once I met my wife, you know, and of course at the time she was, you know, my girlfriend and stuff, we knew we wanted to move in with each other, but you know, with her dad being old fashioned, he said, fuck no, you ain't moving in until you're married. So I respected him for that, and you know, we ended up, you know, we got engaged, but that ain't the reason we got, you know, engaged and married and stuff. But you know, it just, things worked out, and right before we got married, I knew that we needed to get living arrangements together. I didn't want to do it right after the fact we got married. I knew I wanted to live with her at least 1 year prior before getting married. I had to know what she was like, and I just felt like that was the best and safest thing to do.
And you know something, I agree with you 100% on that one.
Yeah, I mean, the main reason, and I tell this to everybody, and I mean, like, I knew my intentions with, you know, my wife. You know, everybody, you know, thinks, you know, when somebody moves in, or before, or, you know, oh, it's all about it's a sexual thing, blah, blah, blah. No, not for me. I knew, you know, my younger days is how that went, but the thing is, my dad always told me, you know, growing up, even my brother, like I said, my older brother, you know, I always wanted to treat, especially the female, with respect. And I don't know, man, I've always been different in that aspect. Like, a lot of my buddies, they were the party kind, they were wild, and I had my wild streaks too, but just not in that aspect. I don't know. I guess that's what made me different. I knew. Now, have I made mistakes in my past? I mean, yeah, sure. But I knew. But with all that being said, I've always respected the opposite sex, and I've never. My intention was never out of bounds or just one thing on my mind. You know. So with all that being said, man, like, her dad knew that about me, and if he didn't, I made him learn that real quick. So, you know, I said, look, let's be adults here. And the thing is, I'm marrying her one day. I'm going to, and I need to get all this, you know, together in place so it can work out for the best for both of us. Because especially if it's going to be both of us, in, you know, in the long run. I said, you know, this is what I want to do. So. And at first, he didn't, you know, didn't agree, but then he saw it. And then, I mean, he took that leap of faith, I guess. He gave me that chance, but it was, I mean, like I said, it was going to happen one way or another somehow. But, yeah, man, that was probably one of the best things that I would say that it was a great way it happened. We got to live with each other that whole year while we were engaged, and then the next year we got married, and we were already living with each other. So yeah, it was good.
Be careful, Agent. This place is filled with hazardous chemicals.
Yeah, X, as I'm looking at this loot right now, I have the option to loot all, examine, or deconstruct. What is that? If I deconstruct that now, will that put resources into my resource? Okay. But what if it's the same level?
Electronic device detected.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, I will
Find a
I'll
way to
check
the
in
courtyard. You can access the
tomorrow.
basement from there.
If I don't see you on here, then I'll give you a shout and let you know what's up for.
Yeah, man. No worries. I figured I'd talk to you some way. I was just trying to get an idea.
Yeah, well, I asked him how he felt, and he said, well, if we don't need to work, but the job that we're doing, the job that we're doing, we got more parts in today, so it's a hot item job. Dude, get this. You know what I'm building?
What's up?
I'm building fucking extractors to fucking extract THC from marijuana.
Oh, no shit.
I'm doing what I enjoy doing.
I hear you.
But it's a big job, and it's all really technical,
DC-62 detected.
No.
and it's also demanding. They want 4 of these extractors tomorrow or Friday, and that can't even happen. And they said, well, if we can't get 4 tomorrow, I want to give them 10 next week. And I said, well, you know, I'm off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Access panel detected.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got more parts in today, and that would give me some overtime. If I can get 5 hours, that would be fucking awesome.
Right. Well, you do your thing, man. I
These
mean,
composition readings should help us
if you
understand
end
how
up,
DC-62 reacts to other chemicals.
you know, however, what time you get off, I mean, whatever works for you, man. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, either way, whether I work or not, I'm not gonna be able to leave till 11. If I work, then I won't be on the road until probably a little bit later than that. So you'd be looking at more like 2:33,
The preliminary test results.
something like that.
Looks like the scientists tried using numerous sterilization
So-
agents to lower the toxicity.
As I look at it now, I mean, if I can keep my daughter home, I'd leave first thing in the morning. But
Right.
that way you and I can spend some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on a mission. So chances are it's gonna be either. The hell is that? The way I'm seeing it be anywhere between 2 and 3:30 at the late.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be much later than 3:30 because we're looking at probably
Download the
2
research
hours anyway.
archives. I'll extract the data from Isaac.
Right.
I think you spend more than
if
enough time
I'm
down here.
if
Agent.
I'm
We've got what
understanding
we
you
need.
right too, you can't be out past 9.
I can't be out past 9, so what my goal is to leave by 6, and then it'll
Did
put
good,
me
Agent.
3 hours
There's a
into
ton of data
Virginia.
here. Should keep us busy for a while.
If I can get up to, what is it, Interstate 81 in Virginia?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'll be just south of that intersection by 9 o'clock. And you know something, if I was a little bit late getting to the hotel and I was to get pulled over, I could simply say, listen man, I'm trying to find a place.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? And it'd be the cops' discretion.
Yeah, that's the only bullshit. I could see that go so many ways.
Yeah,
I'm saying bullshit and for you.
right. I mean, there's, back in the day when I moved from Florida to Colorado, I did that non-stop, man. I stopped in Little Rock, Arkansas. I slept for an hour and a half. I got back on the road and I was in Colorado. I drove pretty much straight through. I only stopped because the early morning hours, when you start seeing daylight after driving, you get tired.
So let me ask you this, Gray, real quick. Which part of Virginia are you trying to be at?
I think it's called Waynesboro.
Critical.
I think there's a budget in, I think in Waynesboro for only like $60.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you could go through.
I was up all night trying to figure out how far I can go. If I was to leave like in 3 hours from your house, and it looked like my safest bet would have been Waynesboro. I forgot what town it's just north of. It's like a city, small city.
Well, you're right near Charlottesville. I know where that is.
That's where I meant, Charlottesville. So Waynesboro is just south of Charlottesville.
Yeah, Waynesboro is actually west of Charlottesville.
Right, but it's just before Interstate 81.
Yeah.
Detected.
So I was thinking if you wanted to hit that, all you would have to do is hit Highway 29, and if that's almost a straight shot.
Yeah. Now, is Highway 29, is there a lot of like red lights and shit like that, or is it just
No.
country road, open country?
It's pretty much open country road. I took it up into Lynchburg one time. I went to Lynchburg, Virginia a while back, and I took 29. Highway 29. I mean, at one point they were doing a little bit of construction, but it's mainly a 2-lane road.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to the country roads, to be honest with you. My intention is to go around,
Yeah.
all the way around New York City. Yeah, well, I hate a little bit of this city. There's no avoiding.
Yeah.
But I want to stay off. I want to stay out of DC, Maryland, Philly, Jersey. I'm just take 81 all the way around to Tappan Zee Bridge in New York,
Yeah.
and then because my ride home is gonna be that ride, And when I come down to interview, that was my ride in both directions, and I fucked up, and I took the express lane. Just south of DC, going into Virginia. All right, man. I'm all set too. I'm gonna log. But
You are no longer in a group.
I ended up on that fucking express lane because I got the fast pass in my car. It's linked to my bank account, so I don't have to stop and pay tolls.
Right.
Dude, that fucking express lane cost me $26.
Oh shit.
But the alternative would have been sitting in traffic.